Balancing a game can be a difficult task. In most cases, it's more of an art than a science. Typically, extensive user testing is done to collect data, which is then taken into account when tuning game mechanics. A game mechanic can be considered tuned when it correctly constrains the player experience to have the desired effect. The desired effect in the case of most multiplayer shooters is for players to fall into archetypal roles which all feel equally rewarding, but not so equal that the choice of playstyle feels arbitrary. I propose a method for providing preliminary results before the user testing phase in prototyping a game, in order to determine whether or not the optimal playstyles fall in line with the intended experience. The method is to use AI agents with flexible behavior trees that can express different playstyles by tuning their parameters, and letting natural selection determine which strategies rise to the top via a genetic algorithm. Ideally, this should provide a simulated player population that will converge to the local optimum playstyles, which will be dependent on the game mechanics. The game mechanics can then be tuned, and results from the genetic algorithm can provide the first steps into evaluating the effect of this tuning on the player experience, without anyone actually having to play the game. I tested this method with a Deathmatch AI Kit demo from Opsiv from the Unity Asset Store. After applying the necessary changes to the game for different playstyles to be expressed by the AI, I managed to succeed in creating a simulated player base which responds to changes in the game's parameters. These results show that this method can be used to provide some baseline evaluation for the player experience without having to play the game. Where the AI behavior tree is more complex, this could point out less obvious problems in a game and its AI, and I imagine the whole process could save a lot of time in game testing if it was implemented on a larger scale.